Today we will be going over the test results from testing Microsoft Outlook 2003 for the United States Coast Guard. The test was administered for the Telecommunication Information Service Command Center, TISCOM, which is in Alexandria, Virginia. So why exactly are we testing Outlook 2003? First of all, our technicians are very frustrated. We've had over 100 tickets alone dealing with Microsoft Outlook 2003 issues submitted to the centralized service desk in a matter of 2 years. So that's just dealing with Outlook 2003. If we can eliminate those tickets, those issues, they can rely heavier on other more important, more pressing issues that deal with the Coast Guard. Also, it would save the Coast Guard overall a lot of money. If we're if we're proactive, instead of reactive, and we look to fix the overall issue now instead of fixing the little issues as they come along, it will help the Coast Guard in the long run financially because our technicians don't have to waste energy or waste production worrying about these little Microsoft Outlook tickets that come in. So our usability test methodology, we had two users. Two users were given 11 tasks to complete using the desktop version of Microsoft Outlook 2003 because that is what we use for the Coast Guard. The test was given on two personal laptops because we were not allowed, of course, to test on a military base. So we went ahead and downloaded the Microsoft Outlook 2003 desktop version on two laptops so that our users could use it at the same time so they can have that office feel and be able to interact with one another when doing the test instead of doing it one after another. Users were free to give their own personal valid opinions once the test commenced after the test was given about Microsoft Outlook 2003. So we did have a moment for the debriefing questionnaire. The test administrator sat down with the two users, and later on you'll see the user profile and see exactly what their backgrounds are and where their opinions came from. Also, users were allowed to ask questions, use search engines, and were not given a time frame to complete the tasks. However, the test was timed from the start of the test to the end of when both of the users completed the test. So the user profiles, it was two users. User number one is familiar with Microsoft Outlook 2003 and has 8 years of experience. User number two is familiar with Microsoft Outlook 2010 and only has 3 years experience with 2010. Neither of these users had any formal training whatsoever on Outlook because, as you know, for anybody going into any career, any job, office, nobody really gives formal training on Outlook. They just assume that you know how to send out emails, how to set up calendar invites. So there's no formal training, especially for the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard is not trained on how to use Outlook specifically and use it correctly. So the test was given, and the test findings showed that out of the 11 tasks assigned, 6 of which had conclusive issues. So that's what we're seeing here. The blue is no issues and the red is issues found. So out of the 11 tasks assigned, 6 had issues, one of which was creating a distribution list. One of our users was not able to create a distribution list, could not figure it out even after asking questions and looking it up. The other one had specific issues also, but was able to complete the task. They both had issues creating distribution lists. Disabling the reply all function within the distribution list. Once you send out an email to people in distribution list, can you disable the reply all function? So if somebody in the distribution list decides to reply to a sender and accidentally hits reply all, how do you not have that accident happen? And this actually, we found out that it is not a function with Microsoft Outlook 2003. So neither user could successfully hit the disabling reply all because it's not a function given for Microsoft 2003. Recalling emails takes too long. Both users had to Google how to recall an email using Outlook 2003. This is an issue because when you're recalling an email, you want to do it quickly because you cannot recall an email once the recipient opens it. So it's something that you want to do quickly. It's not something that you want to fumble with and try to research to do. It's something that is a timely task to complete. Creating personal folders was not ideal for neither of the users. They could not find where personal folders were to even open it up to create a new one. Once they were directed to know exactly where the personal folders were, once they opened it up, it was easy to create, but it was just hard. It wasn't in the right ideal location to find it. Moving emails to personal folders, both users clicked and dragged an email over to the personal folder, and that's how they moved it over to the personal folder. But the issue is, what if you want to move multiple emails instead of just one? Like, say, for example, you are trying to clean out your mailbox, but you don't want to delete the emails. You just want to move them out of your inbox and into a personal folder. How do you highlight all of them and move them over instead of just clicking and dragging and clicking and doing it that way? So they both had an issue with that. And then canceling an Outlook event. When they both canceled Outlook event, they invited each other to their calendar invite, and when they canceled the event, it took a little while. It took a long time actually for it to show up in the other person's mailbox that the event was canceled. So is that an issue? Is that a product issue? Was that just a connectivity issue? What's the issue with how long it takes for the invitees to see that the event was canceled? So some of the user discussion when we were talking in our debrief these are just a couple quotes that we have. User number 1 said, "I absolutely hate Outlook 2003. There's no true security to this, not like Outlook 2010. And what she means by security is the more in-depth the conversation got was, for example, the distribution list and not being able to dysfunction reply all. You can hit reply all and the messages get sent out to everybody in that distribution list. And how is that really being secure? How is that really tightening up where our emails get sent, who gets sent to, etc. Companies, user number 1 said, companies still use 2003. Do they know how ancient this is? And user number 2 said, if you just need to send out email, I guess it doesn't matter what version it is. But work is much more complicated than just sending out emails. Because Outlook 2003 is perfect for sending out an email, but all of the other little tasks that you have to do is kind of complicated with Outlook 2003. So what do we do? The suggestions that we have are an enterprise management of distribution lists. This pretty much means that the enterprise means senior leadership or senior management controls distribution lists. They are the ones to decide who gets put into the distribution list, who is the distribution list administrator, the main person to send out these emails and the main person to get replies back. They would be the one to make sure that these emails that's getting sent out to these distribution lists aren't getting sent out to the wrong people, aren't getting sent out and they're able to hit reply all. They're managing these lists so that it doesn't cause disruption in the enterprise. Information right management, IRM, is pretty much almost like the same thing as enterprise management of a distribution list. However, this controls the information that's attached to an email. This controls the pictures and documents, and it makes these documents and these images and PowerPoint presentations, anything that you're attaching to an email, it makes it more secure, so that when you're passing it through, when you hit send and it passes through the interface, it doesn't disrupt anything. A lot of the tickets that we were receiving at CSD was enterprise or systems going down because of emails being sent that were corrupted. So this will help with making sure emails that have an attachment won't be sent corrupted and won't interrupt an entire enterprise. Training staff on the use of Microsoft Outlook 2003. This actually will help tremendously. I think that senior leadership and enterprise fail to realize that a lot of their workers do not know how to fully function and fully use Outlook 2003. So if we still want to go with Outlook 2003, we're going to have to train our employees on how to properly use it, the do's and the don'ts, and I guess the repercussions of what happens if you do a don't. Implementing Microsoft Outlook 2010. It will be costly to implement this Coast Guard wide. However, it will save the Coast Guard a lot of money in the long run, because with Outlook 2003, you have the moderated distribution groups and mail tips. Now, what the moderated distribution group is it is that function kind of like the management of distribution list, but this one actually has the reply all disabled function. It has the reply all disabled function. It has the it allows you to see exactly who is getting sent out to, what group they're with, who sees it, who's read it. It's an automatic thing that pops up. And like I said, more importantly, it has the reply all disable function. Now, the mail tips is a great little tool in Outlook 2010. It pretty much asks you questions before you make a task happen, before you hit send. It'll ask you, are you sure you want to send this? This is getting sent out to a large group of people. Are you sure you want to send it? You say yes or no. This allows users to make an educated guess, or not guess, excuse me. This allows users to make an educated choice on what they're really doing before they do it. And they can also type in their questions directly to MailTip. If they're having an issue, type in their question directly to MailTip, and it will tell them right away where to go, where to find it. For example, your personal profile, or excuse me, your personal folders. If you can't find a specific personal folder that you made, you type it right into MailTips and it opens right up for you. So it's quick, it's simple, it's a lot quicker than dealing with Microsoft Outlook 2010. So what is our conclusion? In my overall conclusion results package, you'll see more description of my suggestions, and can really look through the suggestions and research the suggestions on what would be better for the Coast Guards. Any one of those suggestions would save the Coast Guards overall time, energy, production, money. It would save Coast Guards everything. Even if we just start off with training individuals on using Microsoft 2003 while we try to roll out and implement 2010, or whatever it is that we decide to do. It's just something that we should look into. We have the test results back, and something that we can present to senior leadership so that they have a wider view or range on what it is exactly that we can do as the Coast Guards. Thank you for your time.